Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. Today, we're going to be breaking down a vintage, if you want to call it that, Winchester AA target load. This one is 20 gauge, 2 3/4 inch, 2.5 dram, 7/8 ounce of number 9 shot. Now, the number 9 shot is my preferred size to use for clays. Now obviously, with the number 9 shot, you do get more pellets per shell than you would with 8s or 7.5s, even 7s. I've seen 7s too. They're not all that common here in the USA, but I have seen them. Now, speaking of the box here, this is a cool box. I believe these were early 2000s, right around the time when the AAHS hulls came out. They replaced the original compression form AA's, which is a much better hull than the AAHS, but that's a whole different topic. But yeah, I believe these are early 2000s, right around the time the AAHS came out. And the reason I think that is the first generation of AAHS hulls, they actually had the AA in the little box here on the shells, just like the compression form shells did. They say 20 gauge only, again, just like those did. But this is a AAHS hull. And the reason I know that is because the plastic on this is all smooth and shiny. It's nothing like a original AA, but let's have a look at the rest of the box here. The front of it, like I said, looks really cool. The black and gold red, very nice color combo. Looks like a fancy shell, but it's not. Top of the box, nothing special, just our specs. Side of the box, if you want to read anything, just pause it. Looks alright to me anyway. Back of the box is just about the same as the front, minus this sticker. And here's the other side of the box. It probably some useful information there. I'm not going to read any of it because I've done read it before. But the bottom of the box, you don't see this with modern shells. That's kind of odd to see, to be honest. But yeah, I've never seen anything like this on a modern shell. With that out of the way, here's what the shell looks like. We do have a Winchester 209, the copper-plated one nonetheless. But we have a low brass, and this is actually brass this time, not brass-plated steel. AAHS hull, again, has the smooth, shiny plastic. The original compression forms do not have that. They have more of what I'll call a grain structure to them. And we have a pretty weird-looking crimp. It's not very deep set. It is kind of flat, and there is a pinhole. But I'll give Winchester a pass for this because these AAHS hulls, they are kind of hard to crimp. Even when you're reloading them, the crimp doesn't always want to, form nicely. And that's just due to these having very thick plastic. Well, I decided to move outside here. It's been just absolutely pouring the rain here in Kentucky for the last week, like just about every day, all day, heavy rain. But it hasn't rained here in a few hours, so I figured I'd just wipe the table off the best I could. And let's finish this up outside. So anyway, we're at the part where I can open this up and show you what's inside. Here's the tools I used to do that with. Pretty standard, nothing special. Let's get to opening this up now. So 7/8 of an ounce is 0.8875, and we have 0.889. So right at 7/8 of an ounce, we might have one pellet extra. And yes, that one pellet is going to make the difference. You might miss the entire clay, and that one pellet is going to take it out. But here's what the shot looks like. It is, again, 9 shot. It all looks uniform, nice and shiny. For being a little bit older shell, that shot held up pretty dang well. Here's a better view of it. Again, it all looks fairly consistent. Looks all the same size to me. I don't see any deformities, no malformed pellets, nothing like that. There might be one right there in the middle of the screen, but I might have done that with the pliers. I don't know. But again, for being a little bit older shot, it's held up quite well. I don't see any oxidization. Looks great. And it looks like we have about 16.2 of whatever this may be. It is just a ball powder. However, it is pretty clumped together, and that's just due to age. Yeah, clumped together. That is not unusual for a shell that's been, sitting around for a while. Here's what the wad looks like. It is kind of weird greenish color. Yeah, it used to be blue. I have seen newer versions of this wad right here, and they're blue. This one is slightly green. That's just due to age. The powder has oxidized the plastic, which, if you guys don't know, you can load a shell and then break it back down, let's say 6 to 8 months later, or any time really that's been about 6 months or later, longer, and the wad will have aged a light brown, pink, sometimes a red color, orange, that, you know, warmish hue. That is not uncommon at all to see. And of course, this being a AAHS hull, it does have a separate base wad, and the base wad is actually what's tapered, not the hull. If you look closely, you can actually see the shelf. If you see the lighter ring about halfway down the hull, the base wad is right below, directly below that lighter ring. And yep, AAHS. And here's what it looks like put back together. Obviously, I may have got a little bit too heavy-handed with the gap, but the crimp is much deeper set. It's not so flat anymore. We still have the pinhole, which can't really be helped, but it does have a taper. Looks pretty good overall. We have shot some of these at Clay's. They do very, very well. I like them. But anyway, that is Winchester's AA target load 20 gauge 2 3/4 inch 2.5 dram 7/8 ounce of number 9 shot. Again, channeling my inner Paul Harrell. But that's going to end this one here, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.